Hold on. All right, so as I say, it's 2 assignments, a letter and a PowerPoint. So let me start with the letter first. So the letter assignment, basically you are given a letter with some instructions. So both assignments are uploaded are on Moodle, all the information. So the letter is there. The information about the letter is there. So it's saying that you should type over the letter, right? And you are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points that you should do when you're typing over the letter, right? So you're going to use word art and clip art to do over the letterhead. So the letterhead part is the Thai Eco Tours with the PO Box, Bangkok, etc. That part is a letterhead. So you know you're going to use header to do that part. All right. Then it says the web address. So that part which is in the letterhead, there's a address there, the www.ecotours.com. You are going to ensure that that is in Arial point 11 size. So the font is Arial, the size is 11, right? And the rest of the letter is to be in Arial size 12. All right. There's a list in there that says day 1 to 3, day 4 to 7, day 5 to 8, etc. You're going to ensure that those are numbered. It's not numbered now, so you're going to number it. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so ensure that you number it. Then you're going to insert a footer. The footer should have your name and insert a footer with your name on the right. Right, so on the right hand side of the document as a footer should have your name, right? And after you have done that, type up the letter and everything, you're going to save it as Thai Eco Tours with your name and the date, right? And then you're going to upload it under this assignment on Moodle. All right. So that one, I think it is pretty simple. You're just going to type over the letter that is there. All right.
Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
is this one a single, like individual work?
Yes. So the letter is individual and the other one is groups of 3 or 4. So I'll be texting in the group in a few minutes so that persons can give me the groups that they want to work in for the summative practical one. And that one requires you to do a PowerPoint. But the letter is individual work. Good?
Miss.
Yes.
Yes.
So for the number, Miss, what you mean by number, Miss? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I remember you have 5 days, 5 clustering, right? So you see, let me open it back as I close it. All right, do you have the letter in front of you?
Yes,
Annalise?
Miss.
Right, so you're seeing day 1 to 3, Bangkok, day 4 to 5, Chiang Mai to whatever, day 8 to 12, right? So there are 5 different activities given for specific periods. So they're asking you to number them. So day 1 to 3 would be number 1, day 2 to day 4 to 7, number 2, day 8 to 12 would be number 3. So you number them. You realize there's no number in there. So you have 1, you put your number 1, then the day 1 to 3. Understand?
Oh, okay, Miss.
Right. So you're just going to number them. Right, so we're good with this one.
Yes, Miss.
All right, good. So we're going to move on to the next assignment, which is the summative assignment. All right, so this is in groups of 3 or 4. All right, we're only going to do it requires you to present the PowerPoint, but we're not going to do any presenting because trainees are not accepted on the compound at the moment. So you're going to do your presentation online, right? It's PowerPoint, so that's very simple to do online. You don't have to come here to do that. All right. So it has 2 parts. It has a written report, and then it have a PowerPoint which you would present. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, you're not going to submit like a report and then a PowerPoint, because the assignment asking for whatever is in part A is what you're going to use to complete the PowerPoint presentation. So you're just going to submit, or you're going to present and submit only a PowerPoint presentation. All right, so you're going to use part A to do the PowerPoint presentation. So everything that part A is asking for, so it's saying you are to provide a layout of the office space. So you're going to give that information in the PowerPoint presentation. So you're going to use the requirements for part A to complete the PowerPoint presentation with what is required in the PowerPoint presentation. All right, so it says like you have to have a minimum of 10 slides, maximum of 20. So we have some requirements for your PowerPoint presentation, but you're using part A2 as the content part of it. All right, so let me go through it. So it says in groups of 3 or 4, you are to set up a new office for adventure tourism company. All right, so basically, your group of 3 or 4 persons is a company that go around and set up office spaces for companies. All right. So you are going to give your little company a name. So that's the group with 4 persons or 3 persons. And it says your company will have 4 employees, which is the 4 of you in the group. All right. So hold on a moment. All right, so let me go over this one. In groups of 3 or 4, you are to set up a new office space for adventure tourism company, So they give the company a name. Part is the name for the adventure tourism company, not your company, as I said earlier. I mixed it up. All right, so the company should have 4 employees, and the company should be in an office building with a central business district. So you're going to create a layout which would reflect the spacing for those 4 employees. All right. And then for those 4 employees, remember you have a director, operations manager, operations assistant, and a marketing coordinator. So you are going to do a little research to find out what those persons will be using, as in what kind of technology they're going to be using in their office space, kind of hardware, what kind of software, etc. And that is what you're going to use to do the assignment. All right, so it says you are to create an office layout for the company. All right, remember it's 4 persons you're creating the office space for. All right, because they're starting out with 4 employees. All right, then you are going to see what kind of equipment they will be using. Right, then you're going to outline 2 benefits, as in 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of all the equipment that you choose for the company. Then you are going to provide a cost for the equipment, and you're going to give a detailed breakdown. All right, so if you're saying you want 4 computers, and you say what each computer costs, right? And then the total. So it's basically like a budget, right? A budget for the equipment that you will be getting for the company. Right? For each equipment now you will see how they will be maintained. Are you going to maintain it in-house, or you're going to have to outsource it? All right. Remember the 4 persons that you have working. Is the operations manager able to maintain the equipment? Because according to the 4 employees that you have there, the operations manager or the operation assistant might be the best person who will be able to maintain it if you're going to go with in-house, right? If you realize that nobody there can maintain it, then you need to go outsource, and then you explain why you will be choosing to maintain it in-house or going to outsource a maintenance team. All right, and it says beside Microsoft Office and Summit Pro, then you are to give 2 other software that you would choose for the office. And then you're going to give 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of those software that you choose. And then the last one, how would you ensure the office is set up is ergonomic, right? Meaning, is it safe? Talking about health and safety for the employees. All right. And then you're going to put all that information in a PowerPoint presentation. Right? And it's in your PowerPoint presentation must have a master slide, background use on all slide, text layout, you use 3 different texts. Right, so one way you can include 3 different texts is to ensure that the topic text is different from the body part of it, right? And then you can have another little information part with a different type of style. All right. Ensure that bullets, tables, clip arts, charts, diagram, at least 3 of those are included in your PowerPoint presentation. Slide animation and transition, maximum 10 slides, maximum of 20 slides with a minimum of 10. All right, so that information should be used to guide you on how you'll be preparing your PowerPoint presentation. So choose your group, go through it, and then you do those assignments for me for next week. So next week is a short week. Let me see when it's due. It's due the 2nd of September. Which is basically next week, but it's a Tuesday, so we can't do it Tuesday. No, Thursday. Next week, Thursday. All right. So I might push it back a little bit, give you guys more time to do it, right? But we can't go beyond the week of the 10th. All right. So any question on this assignment? Also, the rubric is there, so you can use the rubric to see what you'll be marked for. All right, so from the 2 of you, you guys have any questions?
No, miss, not really.
All right, so you have who you would want to work with, 4 persons, or 3.
I'm gonna think about it.
All right, so when you think about it and you make up your mind, you send me a message in the group. I'm going to send out the message in the group now so persons can make up their groups and tell me who is in the group. All right, just to ensure that everybody is a part of a group. All right.
Okay, miss.
All right, so Natalie, please go and finish the